G'day internet, my name is DylanTonic and you are dining with DylanTonic, and it has been a minute. It has definitely been a minute. This lighting is insufficient, please hold. Since last we met our intrepid adventurers, that's me, I'm the intrepid adventurer. We moved, kinda. We moved. No, we did move. We did like 3 streams in this kitchen. Then the laptop had to stop, the gaming computers had to stop living in the dining room, the living room. The gaming computer moved into the office. The stream stopped, 5 years passed, we got the kitchen renovated. I've suffered several mentee bees, and now we're here. Welcome back. Hello, Jess. Galena is an adventurer, I assume, unless she is the final boss. So, the very last stream we had in this kitchen, we used to have this stupid little plinth up here that made it really hard to see over. And Galena used to love running across that. And we had a streamer, another streamer, come in and lose his goddamn mind because I had a cat in the kitchen. He was a professional chef. He cooks in restaurants. This is disgusting. How dare you have an animal in your house? That's repulsive. I can't believe you're feeding anybody that rubbish. You're going to poison someone. You're irresponsible. It's upsetting. It's insane. And I'm like, bro, she's my cat. I'm the only one eating the stuff. Like, if hygiene is a concern, her anus has probably already been on every surface in this house because she is a cat. This is not a restaurant. This is my house. He stayed for about 60 seconds to continue to scream at me and then left. So it turns out that all parts of the Twitch community can be toxic if you try hard enough. So that's nice, isn't it? How are you doing, Jess? For those of you who are tuning in, I am pretty sure that Jess is an artist friend of mine who lives in the same city as me. She does amazing work in several mediums. She should post her stuff if she wants. She's welcome to do that. Hopefully, I don't remember what my auto mode settings are, so you might get timed out, but give it a go and we'll see what happens. Or if you'd like, you are more than welcome not to. Condro, hi intrepid hero. How you doing, Condro? You just fed your cat a little cheese from a quiche cooking attempt. Cats can have a little cheese as a treat. How did your quiche go, Jess? Also, I don't think I've ever asked, do you prefer Jess or Jessica? Hello? Yes, miss? What's so exciting about the fridge? You've already said that. Try saying something new. You prefer Jessie? Okay, got it. Sorry, the one I didn't try. I have a whole thing about ensuring that I use people's actual names, but I'm not always great at guessing what that is, so. Quiche is in the oven. So it's Schrodinger's quiche. It is neither good nor bad yet. So tonight, because of the mushroom case, I decided we're gonna have a little bit of beef stroganoff. Just a strogan good time. Never saying that again, that was heinous. Yeah, so a little bit of beef stroganoff, something I haven't made for a while. Something that I'm pretty sure Captain Camera really likes. Captain Camera is in the other room watching Dropout at the moment. These peppers do not want to fit in this box. I made them fit through the virtue of an ancient technology known as cramming. So yes, things look a little bit different. The kitchen's been renovated. The equipment is all new. It is barely set up because I am not a functional adult. But what we're going to do today is we're going to make us some stroggy bee. We're going to put some groceries away. We're going to heat the oven up because we're going to have to roast some things because I want to do a little bit of meal prep as well. Because the mentee bee sometimes makes it hard to actually, be a functional human being and make dinner, which gets expensive when you're Uber Eatsing 3 nights in a row. So we're trying not to do that. We're trying to be a little bit of a functional human being, or at least play one on Twitch. Banana peppers. They're peppers, not bananas. Banana peppers, yes. Yes, they are heinous tricksters here to mess you up. I went shopping at the fancy grocery store, which means I get a very long receipt, over 3/4 of which is not the things I bought. It's just you save $4.60. Thank you for shopping and here are our trading hours. Please retain receipt for proofs of purchase. I don't know why I accept receipts. I do, no, it's because I'm a little bit toxic and I kind of want to cost the store just a little bit of money. You know, they used to have to pay it for everything. Now they only have to do it if you don't accept an electric receipt. And you know, fuck them. Fuck the grocery stores and fuck all the money they make. I want things to be just a little bit difficult for them. I'm very healthy. This is normal. Alrighty. We have quite a few things we're going to make today, actually, if I can remember what any of them are. We were going to make some roast mushrooms with miso and butter. Yes, I know I'll find my tabs here. You're a browser. That's how browsers work. Where'd that recipe go? We're going to make garlic roasted pumpkin salad because I have some leftover pumpkin. Lights inside the drawers, fancy, fancy. So the interesting thing about lights inside the drawers is that I think they cost us maybe $8 a drawer to put in. They were by far the cheapest part of the entire damn kitchen. And so we went, you know, I've always felt that having lights inside your drawers, that makes you feel like a classy rich person. So we did it. We put them in basically every drawer. And everybody has the same reaction as you. And we're like, thanks, we paid for them. Not very much either. Yeah, that's kind of what is really weird part about the whole Reno deal is what parts are expensive and what parts are cheap. So I've got my beef strog recipe. I've got my pumpkin recipe. Where's my... Did I close the tab I need? That does sound like me. I spent an hour shopping and I'm not a huge fan of ye old shopping. Where are we at? Wholesale butchering green slopes. Caramelized black pepper chicken. Roast miso mushrooms with gailan. We need 75 grams of... I should probably finish putting groceries away first. I'm unmedicated. How are you, Galena? Also unmedicated, but hungry. What medication would you even be on? Chicken. I'm not sure chicken is a medication. It is. Are you a doctor? I play one on TV. You have a TV career? I might. Get a smart cat, we thought. It'll be fun, we thought. It was a bad plan. Into the microphone, darling, so everyone can hear you. Come on, into the microphone, darling. The pantry doesn't have lights because we couldn't figure out how to fit them in a way that made sense. I'm running out of vegetable storage containers, by which I mean I've run out of vegetable storage containers. Now I get to use plastic bags because I have so many reusable shopping bags that will never be reusable. But they are good somewhere. Maybe I did get rid of them. Uh-oh. Hey, I did not. A vegetable storage hack of mine is that if you wrap a vegetable, I'm gonna need that, actually. No, I need the gailan. That's what I need, it's gailan, I need that, yes. If you wrap your vegetables in a tea towel and then wrap the whole bundle in a plastic bag, the whole thing lasts a lot longer. The tea towel means that any water that comes out of it gets sucked up instead of sitting and rotting, and the plastic stops the whole thing from dehydrating. Radishes, also not needed right now. Butter, you are needed right now. Waffle iron, you can go back in the cupboard. Oh God, we really need to get more PowerPoints installed in the kitchen so they can be reached from over here. Churu's meds every day for cats. I can't do churu, it creeps me out too much. So Galena has never known the loving caress of a paste full of goo. She gets freeze-dried chicken instead. A thing for which she fiends. Actually, I can probably demonstrate the fiending pretty easily. Just be patient. Let me get a chunk. Let me get... You actually have to take it, sweetie. There you go. What effect will that have on how much she bugs me? 0. It will have 0 effect on how much she bugs me during dinner. But we live in hope. Alrighty, that's probably something along the lines of clean enough. Let's get started with the rest of the recipe. She is a very clever girl. Don't get a clever cat. It's a bad plan. Right, where are we at? Oven has to be on 200. Which I'm going to gloss as 180 because it's a fan-forced oven. Make the miso butter by combining the butter, miso paste, and garlic. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. How many mushrooms did I get? I have this thing where I halve the recipe in my head, but don't write down the halved version because, you know, that's for people who have their shit together. And so then, inevitably, fuck part of it up. I bought 7 mushrooms when I was meant to buy at least 8. That's fine. It'll be fine. Let's just remove the stems. You have a stupid cat, a sweet smart, and a smart biting cat. Ooh. Galena is very sweet and very kind. She's basically a Labrador in cat form. She likes humans, she likes food, and she likes humans who feed her food. And that's kind of it. Those are her motivators. She loves spending time with people, especially big burly men like her dad's. But she's very social. She always wants to be up on the table if we've got guests over and we're playing board games or something. But if we just put a... words are hard. If we just put a towel or something down for her to sit on, she's perfectly content to just sit on that while we do whatever. Very, very sweet cat. But also kind of a menace. Alrighty, what we want now is half a recipe worth of butter. I said half a recipe worth of butter is half of 75 grams, which is 35, 36, 37 grams, 38, 39, about 40 grams. Slightly less than 40 grams. That math was a bit wonky, but you know, whatever. Of butter, which has been softened, which is not a thing I did, because I do not have my shit together. 39.5 grams. Take a bit of that off. 35 grams, sure. That'll be good enough. So what I am going to do, I'm going to try a clever hack that I heard about on the internet. Now, you shouldn't believe anything you read on the internet, children, unless I tell it to you, and then it's gospel. But what this clever hack is when you need to soften butter, you fill a glass or ceramic bowl with hot water. You let it heat up a little bit. And then you put the whole thing over the butter, and that encourages it to melt. So we're going to try that while we prepare the rest of the ingredients, which are half a tablespoon of miso, which does not seem like enough miso, if I'm honest. I fucking love miso. Ooh, who am I getting a message from? I'm getting a message from my friend Jocelyn. Alrighty, half a tablespoon of delicious miso. make it your own recipe. Add more miso then. I would, except I haven't made it before. And also miso is pretty salty, so I wonder if it's intended to control the salt in this particular recipe. Fuck yeah. 2 garlic cloves crushed, that's easy enough to halve. To 1, I can count. I went to university. Do you make quiche a lot, Jess? Or is this a first time thing? Alrighty, garlic, garlic, garlic. Crushed garlic in my house means microplane. Whoop. We never ran, beautiful people say yes. What am we doing after we squish this together? We are spreading it over the mushrooms and placing on a lined baking tray, roasting for 20 minutes. And then we're blanching the gailan for a minute. I can do both those things. I have the technology. So since this is going to make a bit of a mess, I am gonna... Yeah, that softened it a bit, I guess. Maybe not as much as I would have liked. Let's give it a go though, because I've already started squishing the butter and so now it's all over my fingies. Put the bowl on that for a little bit of extra heat, shall we? Do let's. I'm kind of low-key obsessed with the way children always spoke in those Enid Blyton, etc. Hello, little Miss Naughty, hashtag inappropriate touching. How are you? What is for dinner tonight in your house, little Miss Naughty? The child who's now unfeasibly large. Does it contribute yet? Is it its night to make dinner? Your husband has finished work, so he's here too. Hello, Mrs. Jess, Mr. Jesse, sorry. How you doing? How was work today, buddy? My name is DylanTonic. I hang out in the Brisbane Discord with Jessie a fair amount of the time. And we talk nonsense to each other, and I appreciate her artistic talent because I can make things that are delicious, but not those that look good. Lazy fish and chips, delicious. Delicious. I do wish Queenslanders ate more flake though, so it was easier for me to find because I love flake. Used to be my standing order. I was born in Victoria. I moved up here when I was 4, and it used to be my standing order. It was just a lovely bit of flake. He says, jury's out on work. He's decompressing with the Steam Deck. How good is the Steam Deck? I got one for Christmas, and it was my favorite gift for like the whole year. And not just because my gaming computer is just kind of a bit crap. Like, it's a surprisingly competent just computer in general, and as a gaming device, I really like it. One of the ones you cannot have. You cannot have flake? That is rough. Why is that, if you don't mind me asking? You know what? I don't think this is really going to combine much more. Well, no, it probably is, but I'm running out of patience, which is much the same thing. It works a lot better than it feels like it should. Right? Exactly. You look at it and you're like, oh, a Nintendo Switch in black. And then you play it and you're like, wait, why is it good though? I haven't used it as a desktop yet, but I was thinking of experimenting for a few months and having it as my primary computer with a docking station, see what that's like. I went to Japan. The husband and I went to Japan a couple of weeks ago. Well, over a month ago now, I guess, since we came back a couple of weeks ago. And really, really liked having it with me. Just for the flight, which is now 9 hours, that leaves at 10 a.m. So you have to just sit there in a plane, conscious, for 9 fucking hours, which is a nightmare. And it was great. It was much more engaging than most other plane distractions have been, like books, etc. I do love to read, but something about being on an airplane means that after an hour or so, I'm just like, well, that was fun. Never want to do that again. The flight used to leave from Haneda, which is so Narita is the famous Tokyo airport. It is not in Tokyo. It is in the neighboring state or prefecture of Chiba. They built Haneda later. Haneda was the domestic, but is now kind of domestic and international. There used to be flights from Brisbane, Melbourne, and Sydney to Haneda, and they both left at like 9 or 10 o'clock from the respective locations. And then Qantas took all of the Haneda flights and gave them to Sydney. And all of the Brisbane and Melbourne flights now fly into Narita. And Narita is an hour away from Tokyo by car, which is quite an expensive taxi journey. So that's no fun. And the flight to Japan now leaves at 9 a.m. from Brisbane. The flight back is still a night flight, so it's not as terrible, but I would much rather be asleep on the plane than conscious for 9 goddamn hours. When you flew to Japan, Cocoa Melon for adults, nice. 9 Kings, I don't think I've played 9 Kings. You don't really know, it's mostly been trial and error, but most seafood you cannot have else, well, it's not pretty. That is very rough, Little Miss Naughty. When we flew to Japan, we watched True Detective until he realized that there was a kid behind him being traumatized. I mean, that's what you get for being a child. If you don't want to be traumatized, become a jaded adult. That's what worked for us. Little Miss Naughty says hello, Galena. Galena? Galena. You going to say hello back? No, because you're a cat and you don't actually understand what's happening or why Dad's talking to himself in the middle of the kitchen. But you're just happy to be here. See, she's a Labrador. She's just happy to be here. Right. That's a bunch of greasy mushrooms, which was my stripper name, actually. That can go in the oven. Wash my buttery hands. I think Buttery Hands was Little Miss Naughty's stripper name, if I remember correctly. For those of you concerned that Little Miss Naughty and I are having at each other, we have known each other for a long time. This is friendly banter. We both used to be Tupperware ladies. Death by Stroganoff. Is this dish inspired by current events? Yes, 100%. It is in commemoration, we will say, commemoration of the verdict in the mushroom case. Maybe a little tacky, but the whole thing, I don't understand why it went for so long. I understand that she didn't want people to find her guilty, but there was a lot of saying nonsense things on Erin's behalf. I'm like, you certainly killed those people, didn't you? She's like, no, it was an accident. I accidentally foraged for some poisonous mushrooms that I accidentally put in the food of the people in the world that I hate the most. Accident. That's how accidents happen, you know? One day, you're alive, and the next day, your son's ex-wife, who's tried to kill him before, accidentally murders you and doesn't accidentally murder her children and shits herself in the car because her son has flight lessons or something. I don't know. There was a lot of narrative. To be fair, you were the Tupperware lady, I was an imposter. I was a pretty bad Tupperware lady. I would argue that I was pretty much an imposter as well. Right, what do we got to do next? Next, I'm making creamy chicken enchilada soup in a couple of days. And in order to make creamy chicken enchilada soup, I need chicken stock. And I'm going to summon some chicken stock by making it from scratch because I'm an annoying extra bitch. This is liable to send Galena completely nuts. The main reason I'm making chicken stock is because I need chicken on the bone and I can't get it at my Woolies because my Woolies is trash. So I was hoping the fancy grocery would have it. The fancy grocery does not have it because the fancy grocery was a little trash. So instead we're hacking up a whole chicken, which I've done before. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. I wanna thank you, etc. Alrighty. So what do we need? We need bowls for the chunks. We need the cat to not be on the bench. We need chicken shears, which I think are in here. Yes. We need the cat to not be on the bench. I did say the magic word chicken. He doesn't understand why her lawyers let her get on the stand. I don't either. Like, just the whole time I'd have been just like, just shut up, just shut up, just shut up. By all accounts, she was a very, very intelligent woman who's really bad at covering up a murder. And just things like, oh, I didn't harvest those mushrooms. Oh, whoopsie, I forgot I did. And then alleging she didn't harvest them because her phone was off in the area. Like, she drove to a mushroom harvesting area, then turned her phone off. Like, turn your phone off first. Or once you realize you didn't turn your phone off, leave and come back at some other point with your phone off. Do better at crime. I mean, that's kind of my opinion in general. So my sister had a terrible boyfriend. He was a science teacher, specializing in chemistry, who also turned out to be a bit of a meth addict, which is rough, because addiction is rough. But because he was a scientist, he thought he would make his own meth in the bush. So that's entrepreneurship. And as part of this process, he blew up... Stop it! He blew up the cook and took off 3 of his fingers and wandered the bush with a concussion for several days. And my mother, on hearing this, horrified, absolutely appalled. My husband and I's response is, but he's a chemist. A chemist? Like, do better. Be better at making meth. What is your excuse? Why are you so bad at this? And Mum was like, oh, but it's so dreadful. He was making drugs. How awful, Dylan. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Addiction makes you do things bad, do shitty things. But if you're a chemist, be good at it. She did not understand why this was our concern. Then again, Mum's kind of obsessed with all of my little sister's boyfriends because I think she's desperate for her to get out of the house and live an independent life, even though she's pretty fucked up. By which I mean she has a bunch of health conditions that make that very difficult. So Mum gets very emotionally invested in all of my little sister's relationships immediately and is then utterly devo when they don't work out. So I know people will have learned to do better at mushroom murders now through all the 3D crafting. Not in this economy. I wanted to buy some sugar snap peas to go with dinner, and they were $40 fucking a kilo. They're peas. Beans were only 20. I don't understand why peas were so much more expensive. Although I do think, and I'm going to take this watch off before it gets chickeny. Shush! I do think, I have noticed that a lot of vegetables that used to be available aren't anymore. And I wonder if supermarkets have just been slowly dropping the ones that they don't find profitable. And so you don't get interesting sugar snap peas anymore. Oh, just popped an organ of some sort. Hey, there we go. That's the joint snapping. That means I can run my knife through there and remove both thighs. Exelpet. That's what we want. Now the breast needs to come off. The recipe said skin on bone-in breast, but it also said it should be 450 grams, which seems like a shit ton. Then again, you know, it's an American recipe and their chickens are gigantic. Cat. Cat. You refuse to get supermarket veggies, mostly because they are ass expensive, but also because they don't have decent qualities. Yes! I'm sure onions used to last basically forever. Mum would buy onions, and then they would just stay in the pantry. She would buy like 5 kilos when they're on sale. If I was to buy 5 kilos of onions, there is no way those onions would not just completely go off in my pantry. It would not happen. They come pre-moldy. I am lucky enough that Coco's is not annoying. Stop it. Sorry about that. You need to get down. I'm lucky enough that I don't live too far away from a really good greengrocer. Actually, a few really good greengrocers. But otherwise, yeah, things are ridiculous. And given that how cheap they are at greengrocers, I know the supermarkets claim that they're not colluding. They're definitely colluding, in my opinion. No. All right, kittens get to have chicken when they behave themselves. What you're doing is not behaving yourself. It is being a menace. I would know, because when I was younger, I was a professional menace. Now I'm an angel, and everybody loves and respects me, and I have lots of friends. Sure, let's go with that. Old melted onions are so sad. They are disgusting. Possibly the grossest thing I have ever found was onions that I forgot about for, and I couldn't deal with it. I had to make Wayne clean it up. And usually I'm the one who has to clean up the gross things. Lies and slander on the angel part. Hef would eat 5 kilos of onions if you let him. I mean, so would I. Onions are great. All right, things are coming a little bit unstuck here in the chicken trimming department. We've gotten to the point where I've fucked up at least one cut, and so now I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing, which is not helped by the menace. So I'm guessing Hef is little Mr. Naughty then? I'm not sure. I just stabbed myself. Not sure I actually know his name. Yes, does Hef like board games? Yes. He does? We should do board games sometime and catch up. Although saying that, trimester goes back next week. I thought it was today. Luckily stopped just before I left to double check what building I was in and went, why is my schedule not showing that I have a class today? But no, we should catch up. We should play a lovely board game. Alrighty, those are certainly some chunks. So they go in the chunks bowl. Everyone should have a chunks bowl, isn't that right, Galena? Shut the fuck up. I want to know how much chicken is there. And the best way for me to do that is to measure it. Do we have 900 grams? Please say we have 900 grams. 600 grams. Alrighty. Well, I guess this recipe that I'm going to make is going to need to use legs and wings for the chicken, since I need so much of it. So I guess I will put in both. It's a little odd to have bone-in chicken breast when I'm going to shred it. I imagine it's in part to help keep it together during the shredding process, during the cooking process. Probably took more of the back plate off that than I needed to. Oopsie. That's an oopsie. It's fine. It'll be fine. Don't tell your mother about this. You have lots of new games too? Excellent. What's been your favorite new game? I bought Quacks of Quedlinburg a few years ago, about 3 years ago now, for Wayne. Well, for both of us, but in part because Wayne said it looked interesting, and I agreed. And we played it, and it was rad. To the point where we ended up buying third-party tokens for it because we wanted to improve the game feel, basically. So we got these really cool acrylic tokens, and then they feel absolutely excellent in the little drawer bags. And for those of you watching, if you haven't played Quacks of Quedlinburg, it is an unequivocal recommendation from me. I'm not going to tell you to go play it. I'm going to tell you to go buy it. It's rad. It is a bag building, press your luck game where you are crap alchemists trying to win the alchemy tournament. Each round, you pull ingredients from your bag and put them on your board until you want to stop. You get to choose when you stop. And the reason you might want to stop is because the people in Quedlinburg are credulous rubes. And in order to impress them, you have filled your potion with your ingredients with cherry bombs, because they blow up mildly in your potion and make it fizz and bubble. And the credulous rubes that I mentioned think this is what makes a potion good, is if it bubbles. Clearly it's wonderful. But if you get more than 7 bombs in your potion, it just actually explodes and you get no points for that round. And so Quacks of Quedlinburg is a game of pulling ingredients out of your bag and adding them to your potion. Once you've pulled them out, you don't get to choose not to add them. And if you add too many, you don't get points that round. And you're never allowed to look in your bag. So you buy new ingredients between each round, and if you forget what it is that you've bought, too bad. How many cherry bombs are in there? Is it 3? Is it 4? Oh, and the cherry bombs are worth different amounts as well, so you can't just wait until you've pulled out 6 and then stop. No, 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 no. You must be cannier than that. Oh, yes. I don't know what this voice is, if I'm honest. Chicken! Look, you're already dead. I don't know why you're clinging to your previous form so much. Just give it up. You have failed, and now you must join the wheel of reincarnation in the hopes of becoming something other than a chicken. There are a lot of chickens to be, though. So, good luck with that. Alrighty, trim off some of the excess fat, since all we're doing with this is braising it. And those are ready to go in the Frigidaire for the day. Fine. You can have this weird bit. You won't like it because it isn't just flesh, and that's the main thing you like about chicken, is just the meat, and the fat freaks you out because you're rubbish as a cat. Come on. There you go. Hello, Lady Jibbers. So this is how you learn I get a new kitchen? Yes. Some time ago. Although, if I'm honest, I have a suspicion you already knew. Isn't that right, Condra? He's looking at me funny. And by funny, I mean laughing guiltily. Herd mentality was fun, needs more players to enjoy more. Hues and clues is hilarious because everyone has different ideas of colour. Oh yes, I've heard of hues and clues. I showed that to a friend of mine who is a designer and they were like, I refuse to play that game with other people because other people's colour ideas are terrible. And I'm like, that just sounds like you're afraid to get it wrong. No, that's not it. It's another thing. You wouldn't know her. Right, well that doesn't actually close, but that's fine. It's fine. I said it's fine. Quiche is done and looks amazing. Ooh, good luck. I hope it is delicious. What kind of quiche is it? Quiche Lorraine? No, yes. You had arguments of Barney versus Grimace. Oh dear. The colours on the cards are slightly different to the board. That seems unuseful, if I'm honest. That seems diswanted. What was I doing? If you remember what I was doing, please say, oi, don't steal from the box. Fine. Fine, you weird little goblin. Hey Siri, what time is it? All right, 2 minutes until those mushrooms need to get pulled. They are smelling delicious and they are full of butter. So that's fun. It is, but if you look at the board for your clue, it helps. Impossible quiche, nice. I'm a big fan of all the impossible recipes. I've only ever had one that was terrible and all the rest have been, at the very least, passable. And then when you factor in how hard they are, pretty much amazing. I put no effort in it and it tastes delicious. Alrighty, I need to boil because we have half a chicken, which isn't very much chicken to make stock, but it is the amount of chicken that I have. What was I doing? Stock. But I have to actually clean the bowl that I wanted to make stock in. I am good at household chores. Right. Someone gives a clue, tennis, and you have to figure out, do they mean the ball, the grass, the clay, or something else? Excellent. Omelette. It's a thick, quiche is a thick omelette. I mean, it's not wrong. It's delicious. Glad to hear it. I hope you and Mr. Art enjoy it. Don't make quiche often because even though I really like cooking, I find it a weird faff to cook things that have pastries in them, like tarts, etc. But yours doesn't, so I should give it a go sometime. Make me a quiche. Lovely quiche. Bit of quiche. That's how you pronounce it, right? Quiche. Alrighty. Beautiful creature says. So now that this is clean, we can start making a lovely stock. And I usually wouldn't put garlic in a stock, but we have a lot of garlic. And this particular recipe is for a Mexican dish, and I think having a whisper of garlic in the background will actually be advantageous to the flavor, which is definitely how that word is pronounced. You missed the start. Are we Strogan? Quiche doesn't have pastry. Quiche doesn't have pastry? What? Doesn't it? It's a pastry case full of savoury custard. Otherwise, you're just making a dish of eggs. Doesn't it? I may not know what quiche is, apparently. Are we strogging it? There is no such thing as a lot of garlic. We are absolutely strogging it, yes. In honor of the mushroom case, we are strogging it. But I am doing a little bit of prep in advance, because I'm fancy like that, for the next couple of days so that I don't have to cook too much over said next couple of days. In part because I bought the ingredients for the food and I don't have enough room in my house for them. They need to be dark brown. They're currently brown but not dark, so we will let them go a little bit more. You know, I could toast this and make a toasted chicken stock. I do love a toasted chicken stock. Let's give that a go, shall we? Google tells me I'm right and you're wrong, but you never make yours with pastry. I mean, I don't know the name for a quiche without a pastry, which suggests that maybe it's just still quiche. Brown, my lovelies. Brown and make daddy happy. Eat me, I'm daddy. Duck egg thick omelette. Do you keep ducks, Jessie? Galena, the chicken has gone away because you don't deserve it. Because you're insolent. I'm not insolent, I'm an Abyssinian. That's not... One day we're going to teach you what words mean.
No. I can't learn them. I'm a cat.
Yes, but you're a cat that talks.
This may be news to you, but this is in fact just you doing a silly voice.
What? A day. Brother-in-law's farm. Very nice. I love duck. I nearly made a duck recipe today for a crispy duck lasagna, but decided I didn't want to put that much effort in. Ironically, I am now putting pretty much that much effort in. Alrighty. Well, that is browning up. I have got my other veggies. You know, I'm going to pull those... Am I going to pull those mushrooms? I'm going to have a look at a photo of those mushrooms, see what they should look like. I'm going to let the mushrooms sit for a little bit longer. Oi, stop licking the bowl. Don't be a trash kitty. I really shouldn't be stirring these. The key to browning things is not just fucking around with them all the time, but letting them sit against the heat.
Meow.
Yes, I am mocking you. Alrighty, what else do we need to make? We've got the mushrooms making. We're going to make a garlic roasted pumpkin salad, for which we need butternut pumpkin that we oil and garlic, and then roast for 40 minutes. Since the oven is on, we can do that now. Although we're not using 750 grams of pumpkin, we're using however many grams this is, because I have them. Very practical day here today in the DylanTonic kitchen. Garlic. Nice bit of garlic. Where's my garlic eyes are gone? Oh, that's right, I cleaned it when I was done with it, like some sort of psychopath. Little bit of garlic. Garlic for me. Garlic. Salt. Now we need some oil. And I think I'm going to pick some smoked olive oil to help enhance the char. The cha-cha-cha. Never going to say that again. How's the browning going? It is going fine. It could be better. Smush this around to misc the garlic. Pumpkin ink. I am a little worried about how much garlic is sitting on the pan instead of on the pumpkin, because I am concerned it will burn in the pan. In fact, I'm very concerned it will burn. I'm going to increase the amount of dishes I have to do, like a psychopath, in order to not have burning. Right. Probably should have coated this, but oh well. Too late now. We're making bad choices today in the kitchen, so that's always fun. Wash your oily hands. Probably is about time to pull those mushrooms out. Probably shouldn't have used a wet cloth for this. Like, oh well. So this is what we've got. They're very hard for me to tilt without putting hot goo everywhere. So I'm gonna just put them down here and come back to them in a little bit. How high does this oven need to be to roast? It needs to be 200 degrees. Roast for 40 minutes. Hey Siri, start a 40-minute timer.
40 minutes, starting now.
Alrighty. How's this chicken doing? It is doing okay. The other side could do with a bit of a brown right now. What do we got next? We should start strogging. No, I'm going to strog all over the place. Oh, I don't like that. I disapprove of that thing that I just said. Right. We need to hydrate some gelatin. Half an ounce. Hey Siri, how much is half an ounce in grams? Hey Siri, how much is half an ounce in grams? Hey Siri, how much is half an ounce in grams?
What would you like me to convert 0.5 hours to?
Nothing. How much is half an ounce in grams?
Convert 0.5 hours to?
How much is half an ounce in grams?
0.5 ounces is 14.17 grams.
Fuck both of you. You like that this new kitchen that you definitely didn't hear of before this moment has sound panels to dampen the inevitable screaming. What inevitable screaming? Screaming is never inevitable in my kitchen. It is, screaming only ever happens because I want it to. There we are, 14 ounces of gelatin. That's going in some amount of fluids. Love a bit of fluids in here. that is going in chicken stock. 2 cups of homemade or store-bought low sodium chicken stock. Ironically, my chicken stock already has gelatin in it. But oh well. Let that do its thing for a second or so. Turn this right down because we're starting to get a little browner than I want, even though I wanted the brown stock. Pantry with drawers, yes, the drawers are pretty good. Although they did make putting the Tupperware in a little bit difficult. Combine 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, and half of the paprika in a small bowl. How much paprika? 2 tablespoons paprika. That's a lot of paprika. Paprika? Paprika. 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 Scream is encouraged, particularly with mushrooms involved. I think they mostly just chat themselves. What a way to go. To be honest, it probably is how I will go. But, you know, stout yeoman and all that. Right, that can sit over there until it hydrates. This can go in the dishwasher. We should probably give the dishwasher a name, but I haven't. That's my story. I'm very good at stories. That can have some water put in it now, actually. This is some other chicken to stock from some other time. Lovely, marvellous, wonderful, smashing, delightful, devious, etc. We also need alliums, in this case, frozen leek tops. And celery, again, frozen tops. A bit of fennel, because I wanted to see if that would be nice in a stock. And a carrot. And now until that comes up to a boil, we can pretty much ignore it and focus on the strog. Actually, I might do the adult thing and fill the sink with fluid so I can wash as I go a concept I have heard of, but which I'm pretty sure is made up. Right, what was I doing? Stroganoff. We were doing and strog. We were combining 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, and half of the paprika in a small bowl. I have put all the paprika in. Shame on family. There we go, half of the pat. Now, tablespoon of salt. Teaspoon of pepper. Combine that and it is going to go on my meats. Put it on your meat, kid. That was unpleasant. I'm not going to say that again. So, are you hot? You are. Let the sink fill up. Now, I think this one can tell psychically when meat is about to appear. This is a bavette. I only needed 650 grams. They gave me a kilo. At least I'm pretty sure they gave me a kilo. Maybe I should check. Yep, 1,700. So I'm going to cut this pretty much in half, or just under in half. Oi, 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 oi! I know you know what oi means. 1/3, 2/3. So I reckon if I cut that bit off, that should leave me with about 650, yeah? Let's give it a go. Maybe a little bit more. That is 313. Stop it! Piss off. Seriously? You're about to get disowned. Right, nice thick piece of meat. I like a bit of meat, don't you? Just a lovely bit of meat. Now I probably need to truss this. Although I'm not certain I have trussing string, which could be problematic. Note to self, buy trussing string. Okay, now I need to not truss this. Now I need to deal with it as it is. We're seasoning both sides and pressing the seasoning on so it sticks. Alrighty, set that to one side, wash my beefy hands. Turn this up. Is this a beef strog? What was the chicken for? Making a stock for later in the week. I bought too much in the way of groceries and I need to cook some of them to shrink their size. Right, heat half of the oil in a large skillet or saute pan over high heat until lightly smoking. Add meat and cook, turning occasionally until well browned on both sides. I can do that. I can do many things.
Right.
Large skillet. Don't need the wok ring. Might turn the extractor up. Except that I don't remember where I put the remote. Here it is. Marvellous. Wonderful. Smashing. Extraordinary. Delightful. Tremendous. Superb. Do you have a suggestion for how much vegetable oil? 3 tablespoons. Rather a lot. Did it say half of the vegetable oil? It did say half of the vegetable oil. Now we're going to take this to medium rare. At least once this oil has started smoking, we're going to drop this in and take it to medium rare. And I'm probably going to need my smoke guard, which has not been cleaned yet. Well, while that's happening, I'm going to be an adult and do some dishes. Clean while you go. Not really something I'm very good at doing, if I'm honest, which is why I try not to be honest. It just causes confusion, really. My, that pumpkin sure is sitting there doing nothing. Hey Siri, how long on that timer?
There's a timer with about 24 minutes left.
24 minutes. My, that doesn't seem likely, but stout yeoman. Righty, are we flaming? Like a drag queen on Pride. Excellent. In goes the beefy beef. Beef! Maybe you have shamed me into upping my bachelor shower dinner plans from stale twisties to frozen lasagna. We'll see how jealous I get. I think you are worth more than stale twisties. You are worth frozen lasagna, even if you microwave it. It's winter. We may not survive. Eat the lasagna. Eat the lasagna. That's definitely not how it's pronounced. Right, how long am I doing this for? Until at temperature, idiot. You know, it occurs to me that I could have reused that plate for resting. And that I, in fact, will. See, this is what comes about being zealous about preparing. All lasagna is good lasagna. That certainly is the Condra way. Ooh, fire. You know it's good when fire. Right. These look incredibly fatty and delicious. These being the mushrooms. So they are about to go into the fridge and they will just need to be reheated slightly. Having an extraction fan that works is fucking incredible. This must be what Jeff Bezos feels like. Oh, I'm just going to cook something in my house. Oh, my extraction fan works. Like being a witch. Buttery mushrooms. I'm not sure I love the butter pooling in them. They might have too much butter. I was going to serve a few of these as a side with some beef, but now maybe they'll just be by themselves. How are we temporized? Not great. Still pretty low. Huh. I would have expected it to cook more. What are we doing next? After this, we're going to cook the mushrooms. 350 grams of mushrooms quartered. Erin, this is for you. That's probably pretty dark, if I'm honest. Oh well. That one's got meat all over it, so it gets a promotion to bench. You've been promoted to customer. God. Capitalism is the worst. Still not quite there yet. I might actually unfold it and let both sides hit the pan, given it's resisting overcooking more than I thought it would. And I am sweating. The heat coming off this is pretty great. Wok burners are pretty great. What are we at? 45? That middle section's still a bit underdone. Yeah, the middle's still at 13, so we can probably keep going safely. I'm not sure. I've had a bad track record of steak recently. I kind of want to ask Captain Camera to come check for me. Nope. Those are for the dish. These mushrooms are pink on the inside, which I have not seen in button mushrooms for quite a while, and it makes me suspect that these are particularly fresh mushrooms and that the ones I buy at Colesworth are trash garbage. Oh, but Dylan, surely Colesworth wouldn't sell anything bad. $30, $28. I'm going to do something I shouldn't do and cut into it. Nope, still not done. Weird. Maybe it's just too thick. Oh, we're getting there. 36, 37. Yeah, I'm going to pull that, I think. Let's just check this chunk once more. Yeah, let's let carryover do our job for us. That pan is filthy. It needs a good clean. I was hoping to use some of this fond to make the rest of the meal delicious, but that's just burn. That's just burn. Right, what does the recipe say to do next, loves? The recipe says, add remaining oil, add the mushrooms, return to medium heat and cook. Stirring. This is going to splatter. Until mushrooms have released their liquid and are just starting to brown. Add 1 tablespoon of butter and pearl onions and continue to cook. So, pearl onions. Hello Ahmed, how you doing? What have you been eating today? Welcome to DylanTonic. We are making stroganoff as a celebration, not a celebration, a commemoration of a verdict in the mushroom case. I'm currently pretending I have pearl onions by peeling down other onions. It's not going to work particularly well, but it's what we have. In fact, I'm not even going to peel them down. I'm going to peel them and then cut them in half, and that'll be what we use. Because pearl onions are basically impossible to get. Also, I apologize if my stream is a little jank. It has been many moons since I streamed. Or at least since I streamed in my kitchen. One mushroom. 2 mushroom. Fun fact I learned today. It takes 500 times more heat to melt ice than it does 1 gram of ice than it does to raise 1 gram of ice by 1 degree Celsius. Now I knew the latent heat of water was higher, or at least the phase change heat of water was higher. I did not realize it was 500 fucking times higher. It's not jank at all. You were thinking it looks pretty good? Excellent. Thank you, Lady Jibbers. Lighting probably needs to be adjusted somewhat. And I don't currently have a second camera set up. And actually, I may have to lose sound in a minute and go to and plug my laptop in because I don't currently have power and it is running kind of low. And I only have 2 USB ports, a thing I will fix soon. But at the moment, we are where we are. Yes, yes, yield your moisture to Zogthor. Mushrooms. One day I will do my mise en place before I start cooking. That is not today. Were decisions made, Lady Jibbers, on what is for dinner? Jibbers dinner. It occurs to me I should probably know what weight of mushrooms I need. Not mushrooms, the other mushrooms, onions. What weight of onions I need to peel. Whoops, Esker mushroom. You're both going back in the hole. We need 225 grams of onion, which is probably what we have. Almost exactly what we have. Let's throw one more in for good luck. Goddess Sinamat! Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to DylanTonic. I am DylanTonic and you are dining with DylanTonic. And as a homage, in commemoration of a judgment in the Erin Patterson mushroom case, we're making not beef Wellington, but beef stroganoff for dinner here in the DylanTonic kitchen. Pre-game ritual of palmitoyl ethylamide powder, naltrexone and amitriptyline. I suspect the frozen lasagna will be in the microwave within the hour. Excellent! Glad to hear it. You may not think that you're worth frozen lasagna, but you're definitely worth the frozen lasagna more than you're worth stale twisties. So after these little bastards are browned, I think we need a shallot. 1 medium shallot. I think I have shallots. I usually have a couple tumbling around. I do have shallots. Look at me. DylanTonic. Fancy man. He says a medium shallot that should fill a quarter of a cup. I don't think I'm going to get away with 1 shallot for that. I think I'm going to need rather a few. What are we doing with the shallots? Cutting, spanking, destroying. Thinly slicing. Thinly slicing into rings. You like beef strog? This is a cool kitchen? Thank you very much. We had a fucking dreadful kitchen when we moved into this place. And it took us nearly 5 years, but we eventually got it replaced. And I love to cook. And my husband hates cooking, but does appreciate it being easy. And so we put a lot of time and effort into this kitchen. And then it took fucking forever to finish. But we're very, very happy with it. And it makes us very happy on the reg. And occasionally people are like, but why? And you're not going to make it back when you sell the house. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking move again. Moving is a dreadful time. Now I have a nice kitchen with a sink you could drown several people in. Which actually, that part I don't love. I found that you can get a sink that has a half height divider, so it's got a big area on top and then two little lower half bowls, and that's what I ended up getting. Because I don't love giant fuck off sinks, but I do like to be able to clean a whole sheet pan at a time. What did you eat today, Anna? Anything delicious? Anything surprising? Anything shameful that you want us to absolve you for? It's not a formal service we offer, but I feel like as long as you ate today, you're doing well. Because it is late stage capitalism and the world is hell. To be fair, they weren't that stale. The rubber band kept the party bag. Deliciously morbid irony of Twisties pretty fresh. You wouldn't want to move if you had a kitchen like that, and if there's sunlight, that's an extra benefit. Actually, okay, so that's the thing there isn't. This whole house gets very little sunlight. That's the only thing we don't really like about it. Just because of its age. The house is nearly 100 years old, and it's was built in a time before my state had climate control, and my state still had horrendous fucking weather. And so they just really wanted to keep the sun away from the windows by any means necessary. So we have really wide eaves and not that many windows. And at the moment, the lighting in the kitchen's pretty bad, if I'm honest. Because I need to get an electrician out. But before that, I need to decide what light I want installed in a cupboard over to the side that you can't see. And I am terrible at making decisions, so. These mushies are deep and golden on most of their surfaces now. Whoop, that one tried to escape. Sorry. You're getting it. You're getting it. What else have we got? Just starting. Oops, did that too soon. Was meant to do that until they were just starting to brown. I did it till they were very brown. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Fingernail butter. So now we need butter. Probably should have checked how much butter we need. I think it's a tablespoon. Yeah, a tablespoon of butter. And the pearl onions, or half onions, because it's impossible to buy pearl onions here. No, you need to flip over so you can suck in some of the juices. Everybody loves juices. I love juices. That was a TV show, wasn't it? With Ricky Ricardo. I love juices. Right. How are we going in here in the stock container? We are just starting to simmer, which means we can add some more water. My sins today include 0, you didn't bother putting milk on, and ice cream from the tub in lieu of lunch while half watching between two ferns. I don't think any of that is sinful. That ice cream sounds delicious. Was it delicious? That's the only sin I think there is eating food that you do not enjoy that has no other redeeming characteristics. If you don't enjoy it and you're eating it because you need to for dietary reasons, good for you. You did the thing. Look at you being a whole adult. If you don't eat it and if you don't enjoy it and you eat it just because it's there, then you might want to have a bit of a think about your choices. This is going a little slowly. I'm going to add a little bit of water to help everything kind of steam down a little bit. And I'm also going to do a bit more cleaning up. One of my non-negotiables for this kitchen was a dishwasher that hides in a drawer, because I'm a terrible person and I love when people are like, where's the dishwasher? And they have to try 14 places before they find it. I didn't say I'm a good person, I said I'm a good chef. It was fantastic and made the dog jealous. Good for you! Love that for the dog. We need to add shallots, thyme and remaining paprika and cook stirring until fragrant. Well, that's the shallots. The thyme I put in the frigidaire, in the frigidarium. Don't know how much time we need, but I have a whole bundle, so let's assume it's about that much. Flip these onions over manually, since it's hard to flip a convex concave thing just with a blunt wooden spoon. That's a little cooking tip for you. Wooden spoons are blunt. Thyme, 4 sprigs. Where did I put that thyme? Let's see. 1. Hey Siri, stop. 2. 3. Effectively 4. No.
Okay. Let me know if there's anything else you need.
How's my pumpy going? My pumpy is insufficiently browned. Wasn't talking to you. Yeah, that could do with a bit longer, I feel. I feel it in my waters. I feel it in my toes. Maybe another 10 or so, or I'll forget about it and we'll end up with burnt pumpkin. So either way, let's put this away. Butter goes in the butter hole. Rocket goes on the rocket shelf. Corn goes in the corn lounge. That's not going to hydrate if it doesn't actually end up touching the water. So we'll just... Lovely. Right. A little bit of dishes while we don't have too much else to do. Or at least a little bit of letting things soak. Just let it soak. Relationship problems, let them soak. Car won't start and can't afford to fix it, let it soak. Can't beat the last boss in Elden Ring. You got it. Let it soak. Big fan of letting it soak. Burnt pumpkin can be good. Burnt pumpkin can be good. Lady Jibbers doubled down on her white heterosexuality and enjoyed Coin Sewer vanilla. Lovely. Well done. I think I quite like that one. It's been a while since I had ice cream. Right, what are we doing now? We're adding the shallots, thyme, paprika, and stirring until fragrant. I'm glad I have water there because I am pretty sure this is going to immediately start trying to burn. You know, I really don't remember there being that much paprika in. What are we making? This dish. Let's go with that. But, beef something. Beef stroganoff. But it is possible that that's because my mother was a terrible cook. Even though I love her. Right, a little bit of water to drop the temperature. Now we need some soy sauce, and I use a lovely mushroom soy sauce. Soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, fish sauce, and mustard. How much of those things? 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. Two teaspoons of Worcestershire. Shastgoster. Pistnuster. 1 teaspoon of fish sauce and 2 teaspoons of Dijon, darling. A little bit of Dijon. He's really going for all of the umami-filled ingredients here, isn't he? This smells amazing. Right, and I'm actually going to turn it off at that stage because I need to do a little bit of reorganizing because I need to bring some water to a boil. And I also want this burner to not be covered in oil before I use it so it doesn't caramelize on there. Alrighty. You can come across here. You are going to start boiling delicious nudes, for which I need to get my nudes pot, which I think is in here actually. Yes. I'm going to cheat a little bit and use some hot water I have over there. What else are we going to be doing? Juice from the meat. It's all about the paprika and mustard. Fair enough. Mormon, let it soak. Jesus, Lady Jibbers. Well done, 5 points. Very proud of you. More hot water, please. That'd be lovely. What's this? Are you dirty? You are dirty. You're filthy and nasty. Cause you're filthy. I'm gorgeous. I'm still here. I love you all. I'll be back soon. A little bit of a queenly wave this time. Hello, children. You're all such good citizens of the Empire. Yeah. Actually, I suppose I can probably clean up the kitchen a little bit more. Like some sort of adult. Disgusting. Disgusting! What is this? Oh, there's a fennel. Oh, that's right. I was going to make a fennel gratin as well, and I forgot. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'll make it some other time. It's fine. That's probably close to enough water. Yes, I allege that that is enough water. Right. Boilage! I should probably turn the stock back on, if that is indeed its real name. So, how long are these noodles going to cook? 8 to 10 minutes. So, how long until this recipe has 8 to 10 minutes? This water needs to at least be boiling. I also need some finely chopped parsley, which I wonder if I can use the leaves of this celeriac instead. Absolutely not. Also, celeriac. Look at it. It's like an alien. I loves it. Ooh, all right. So bad news. We're about to lose good audio because we're also about to lose power. And that means I need to plug in my Mac, which means I need to unplug the audio dongle. Apologies. Oh, yeah, no, celeriac is not an appropriate substitution. All right. We're doing it live. We've done it live. Excellent. I guess while we wait for the water to come to a boil, I can do a bit more cleaning up. Captain Camera is here and he looks perturbed. Oh, forgot about the pumpkin. I told you I'd forget about it. Ow, ow, ow. That tea towel is hot. Not hot, the other one, wet. That tea towel is wet. But that's our pumpkin, looking deliciously brown. You can't see that, oh well. The string is still a work in progress. I advise you not to jump up on this corner. You're a carnivore. Also, you're burning yourself horribly. Mostly that first thing. Cleaning while you go, it's tedious. Cleaning while you go, it's boring. Cleaning while you go, it's horrible. And I don't like doing it. The only thing worse is not cleaning while you go. And then when you're finished, your kitchen is a mess. And when you're finished eating, you have to clean up or do it tomorrow. And then it's even worse. Let it soak, let it soak, Let all the chunks get wet. Let it soak, let it soak. Don't try to clean it yet. What I am going to do is I'm going to duck outside and get me some parsley. Now this is very special parsley. This parsley is volunteer parsley. It came from the lawn, from the bunch of parsley that basically died off. And you're definitely on camera there, by the way. What? She's also on camera. Oh, well, you can feed her. You want me to feed her so that you don't have to be on camera? Yes, this is volunteer parsley that grew in the lawn after the previous lot died off, and I found this parsley and went, that looks like parsley. I tried some, and indeed it is parsley. And I transplanted it back into a pot. And then it died off again. And then it came back. Apparently parsley is immortal. So that's fun. Well done, you've managed to get my tummy such troubles that I broke it out both the frozen bolognese and lasagna. I'm going to send you the cryo sculpture bill. Oh, heavens no. No, that's on you, love. Alrighty. This is about to boil, so I think we can probably start the rest of it. I need white wine. How much white wine do I need? 1 cup of white wine. Alright. That's a cup. Delicious. Now that needs to come off. Once that has cooked to just a few tablespoons, then I can bring the broth with the gelatin to a boil. My vegetables back in the freezer. My miso back in the fridge. Now I can probably start my noodles. Nope, can't start my noodles. Have to salt the water first. That's probably about right. Yeah. Once that is basically ready for all of this fluid to go into it, then I may allege that we are ready for stage 2. The gelatin formed a skin, so the bits on the inside haven't fully hydrated. That's unpleasant. Let's give it some options, shall we? Yes, it will dissolve once it gets hot, but I would prefer that I don't take any chances. I have gelatin all over my fingies. Cooking is a delight. This feels liable to slit a finger out. Good thing I wasn't using them all. Right, you keep cooking. You be good. You cat. You pumpkin. Pumpkin actually probably can come off that tray now and go into a vessel for storage. So I need it in a couple of nights. In fact, I'm a little worried it won't come off at all. Oh no. Hey, it's mostly coming off. You wouldn't like it though, you know, it's food. Not a single atom of animal in it. Not even the garlic. Alright, well some of them are coming off easily and some of them are not. It'll be fine. It's probably a little squishier than it's meant to be for a salad, but oh well, start human. Delicious roasty pumpy, as we all call it. The old pumpy dumpy. Pumpy. Helena, are you licking the meat? What part of Galena are you licking the meat? Sounded like a compliment. Alright, I would say our liquid is pretty much reduced down to a few tablespoons. Which means it's time to add. It was a different time, love. Doctors made ads for margarine. Yeah. Broth, gelatin, heavy simmer. In we go. Poor mum, I can only imagine the session logging onto my favourite son's Twitch stream in time to hear a critique of my 90s Strog efforts. My mother does not watch my stream. She has absolutely no interest in it. My father made it clear to her that it was a thing they could do, and her attitude was basically, why would I want to do that? He was really excited to. So now that stock is pretty much ready, I'm going to add some herbs. Keep forgetting that I need to raise my voice when I'm away from the camera. Add a fair whack of white pepper. And since I have it, I'm going to add some thyme. do have to be careful with woody herbs in stocks because they boil for a long time, so they can easily become overpowering, but I think we'll be fine. This is coming up to a heavy simmer. And soon I have to pour the liquid out of it, which is terrifying. Right. Yeah, it's good. Alrighty. We have our pumpkin ready for later. I wonder why I have a headache. Is it because I haven't drunk anything for 7 hours? Let's go with the idea that it is. Delicious, life-affirming. All right, heavy simmer on the strug. Nice bit of strug. It's a nice bit of strug, that isn't it? Just a nice bit of strug. Now, this part I'm terrified about because this is not the best pouring device. Alrighty, that's that done and better than I thought it would be. Oh yeah, that's full of parsley, I'd forgotten. Turn that off. Next up, we need our sour cream. I did buy sour cream, right? There it is. Sour cream. Sour cream is the reason I don't make this dish very often. Because there is only so much you can do to control calories when you eat just a shit ton of sour cream with your meal. Oh, right. Hey Siri, 8-minute timer called noodles.
8-minute noodles timer, starting now.
In goes the tag. That's what us professionals call tagliatelle. I'm definitely a professional, and that's definitely true. And we definitely don't seem to have a pasta spatula anymore. Oh, here it is. Right. So, Kenji's suggestion to stop the sour cream from splitting is this is sour cream from Baramba. Can't see that, I don't know why I'm showing it to you. From Baramba, which is a dairy here in my state that makes absolutely delicious dairy products. And unlike the Mulaney dairy, aren't weird, racist, religious zealots, which is nice. That's something I appreciate in my dairy products. Mr. Balzac! Hello! Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for dropping in. What do we need more? More cowbell. See, I only know that joke exists because I'm a cultured man of the world. We didn't really get it here in Australia. We didn't really do Saturday Night Live. Will I be putting it on pasta? I will absolutely be putting it on pasta. A party of two for a raid. Hello, raiders. Welcome to the kitchen. I am sorry that my audio sounds like arse at the moment. This is my first cooking stream again for a very long time. And my current streaming computer has 2 USB ports, and its battery was going flat. So I had to switch the mic out for power. We will be recovering audio soon, and lighting may also improve. But welcome, my name is DylanTonic. I'm a variety streamer who mostly does cooking and a little bit of video games. I am so glad you're here, because cooking with others, or cooking for others, is definitely more fun than cooking alone. What am I doing? I am tempering sour cream. So, Kenji Lopez Alt, whose recipe this is, says that the big problem when making stroganoff is that the sour cream tends to split. He tried adding gelatin, which can often help emulsify things, but found that it happened anyway. And his solution was to temper it, like you do with eggs, which means you take the cold ingredient and you just pour a small amount of hot ingredient into it at once. This, so like with eggs, if you're tempering eggs, say you have hot stock or something you need to mix into them, you pour a little bit of the stock in at a time, and it brings the temperature of the eggs up a little bit, and then you pour a little bit more. And you keep doing that until all of the hot liquid is incorporated into the cold thing. And the weird part is, that stops it from coagulating. Which it shouldn't. Like, the temperature difference is no different, but for some reason, it really seems to make a difference. Here, the problem is that as you heat up the sour cream, the fat starts to come out of emulsion and find more fat and link up with it. And it's more likely to link up with it than it is the water and the protein. And so you end up with an unstable, broken sauce. By whipping it like this, you add enough liquid that the fats can't kind of meet each other before they get emulsified into the gelatin, etc. I do have a little bit less sour cream than I meant to, though, because of the size of the container. So I'm going to hold back some of that liquid and continue on with the rest of the process. You fucking hate tempering sour cream? Is it prone to breaking? I've never actually done it before, Mr. Balzac. What am I doing next? Return the sour cream to the pan along with 2 tablespoons of butter. Bring to a boil over medium-high heat and season to taste. A little concerned this pan isn't going to hold all of this liquid, but we're about to find out. Success! 2 tablespoons of butter. Yeah, whole thing of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of butter, shit tons of starch, shit tons of noodles. No wonder I don't make this very often. How did your stream go, Mr. Balzac? What were you up to today? Was it fun? Was it excitement? Was there adventure? Were there wenches? Was there at least an immodest amount of cheese that needs to come up to a boil? This needs to stop and calm down and stop being so fucking foamy. You slept until midnight, got bored, streamed for 1.5 hours, and now you're going back to sleep. It's a good plan. I like it. You've never had issues. You can use flour or starches to keep it from separating. Yeah, Kenji talked about that, and he said that he doesn't like the effect it gave. I don't mind. Honestly, I think being kind of stodgy is one of the advantages of, what are we making? Beef Stroganoff. But I guess some people might not like it that way. Yes, that's right, we're making beef stroganoff because it's a nice mushroom-centric dish to celebrate the Evan Patterson mushroom trial, reading a verdict of guilty. She's definitely guilty. Everyone already done knew it, but you get a trial anyway, even if during the trial you mostly say complete nonsense. You start your stroganoff with roux, so like, okay, yeah, no, like, not a problem for you at all, right? This one also has wine in it instead of brandy, which was a little odd. But I found that when Kenji removes things from recipes, it's usually because he has a pretty good idea of what he's going for. Oh, this is going to be such a mess to clean up. Hey Siri, how long on that timer? There's
noodles timer with 1 minute and 20 seconds left.
Oh dear. Gonna have to... You want to be a heavy boil, I assume, so you thicken. Bring to a boil with over medium-high heat and season to taste with salt and pepper. Return steaks to pan. To reheat. Cook noodles. Well, I was hoping everything would come together in time, and it has not. I gambled, and I failed. Brandy is a bit of chicken. Fair enough. I do not make stroganoff very often, because although I'm not a calorie counter, I am somebody who finds that there's just a certain amount of stuff that goes into a dish before I'm like, I just added 4 cups of cream to a kilo of potatoes and then topped it with 18 pieces of butter, which is fine, but I'm not going to now deep fry a pork shoulder and serve them together. Mostly because I just don't feel that great afterwards. Right. Got us some side parsley. Ooh, might want to turn this down a little bit, given it's trying to escape from its pan prison. Siri, stop. Alright, how are these nudes going? That's exactly why you only eat once a day. Yeah, I thought about that for a while. I have done intermittent fasting and it works pretty well for me, but I haven't yet done intermittent fasting so I can eat more. Those are Alberto Dente. And not great. I don't think I'm going to buy that particular brand of pasta again. But for now, let us save some pasta water and then drain. Well, actually, while we're draining, let's drop the bavette back into the sauce to let it rethermalize. Food worth eating is an entire day's calories anyway. Mood. I was just saying to one of my viewers earlier that there's no point feeling guilty about food unless you eat something you didn't want to eat for reasons that aren't health and didn't enjoy it. It's the only time you should ever feel guilty. Oh, I ate a crap sandwich because it was there. It was crap and I didn't like it and nothing of value was gained. Well, maybe you shouldn't have done it. But everything else, go ham. Enjoy yourself. Everyone dies. Alrighty, how are we going on the rethermalizing? Ow. Hot. Very hot. Surprisingly hot, given how long that sat on the counter. Alrighty. You can turn down because you're just a stock that we're making for tomorrow. Go, submerge. Live your best chicken life. You, bavette, need to... Ow, 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 oh dear. That was burning hot pasta water I just threw onto my jeans. Walk it off. It's fine, it's just scalding, walk it off. That's our bavette. I'm surprised Kenji doesn't have this reduce. Cook the noodles, return them to a pot, reserving 1 cup of pasta water. I guess I probably still have about a pot left, hopefully. Transfer steaks to a board and pour the sauce, onions, noodles over pasta. Really? I'm not going to reduce that any further? Oh, that sounds right. Return sour cream mixture to pan. Bring to a boil, season to taste with salt and pepper. Return steaks to pan and slowly warm through. Plenty salty. Needs a shit ton of pepper. Delicious. You have sex with you. Oh, it's so wet. Stir the coat until I reach a loose, creamy consistency, a thing that we're kind of already at, and I don't really want to add more liquid. Alright, we'll let that just kind of heat down while I cut the bavette now. Do I want to cut it crossways or long ways? Let's try both. That's fucking good steak. Long ways. Definitely long ways. Oh, look at that. That's a little pink, actually. Look at that. You can't see that. I could walk up to the camera, but I know it's autofocus would freak out. Alrighty. Now I'm going to cut half of this steak. I should probably finish this pasta off too. Oh yeah, that's getting there. And this extra piece of bavette is a little bit of chef's treat. Fuck yeah. Definitely use all that parsley in there. Now it's time to plate up. One day I will be good at plating pasta. Today is not that day, but it's fine. Oh, so saucy. Some for later. I think I'm actually only going to get 3 serves out of this, but that is absolutely fine. 3 serves. 2 onions each. Spoon over the goos, the various goos and creams. In this case, literal cream. And of course, just for you, Erin, mushrooms. It's time. Time, isn't it? Stroke. Time is time. Time after time. Dog. Well, given we only have 3 meals spare, I think we can probably justify serving a bit more bavette for dinner tonight. And I guess I will just have a chef's serve instead of some more leftovers. Such a shame. Right. I will leave that whole because I think I will get a better result if I do it later. Alrighty. Fuck me good. That is extremely good. Holy shit. Wow, okay. I'll do my final tasting in just a minute. But first, load up the dishwasher. And just for a bit of freshness, the other day I shaved some fennel, and I ended up with more fennel than I needed. So I'm just gonna drop a little bit of seasoned fennel onto the dish. Onto the dish. As soon as I find the fennel, which is behind me. Fennel. A little man in the red and yellow car. No fennel. Alrighty. Is this fennel? This is fennel. Is it still seasoned? I could do with some more vinegar. I changed my mind. It doesn't go with the dish at all. Alrighty. Take a pick for the grab. And then I can show you all what went down. That looks spectacular. The camera hates that. We'll come up with another solution next time. So, what do I think of the dish? The pasta is excellent. It's al dente. The sauce is nice and creamy and it's kind of melded with it a little bit. The mushrooms are really juicy. They kind of feel like they've soaked up the sauce, even though that's not how mushrooms work when you cook them. They absolutely kind of come apart. They expel their water and they do not bring up any more. But in this dish, they feel like a well-integrated whole. And then, together with some steak, it's just a really superb, satisfying, meaty meal. Excellent. 5 points. Delicious. Okay, well, dinner is ready, and that means that Captain Camera would like to eat, and so would I. So I'd like to thank you all very much for joining in today on Dining with DylanTonic. It has been a while, but I remember quite well what I like about streaming, and it was great to do it all with you again. So we are going to raid somebody else in just a moment, and then I will see you again next Monday, probably. Keep an eye on your notifications, and if you are not a follower, make sure you hit that follow button and figure out when I will be around. Now you get to look at the attractive back of my head. Alrighty, thank you so much, everybody. Had an excellent return stream, and I hope you all enjoyed yourself as well. Now we're going to head on over to twitch.tv and see who is cooking. Well, failing that, what else is happening? To the dashboard. Ooh. Where are we at? Raid together. Kosher Bacon Jam is on. They're apparently doing a stream for St. Jude. UK Cafe, the only deaf guy, is streaming. He is doing food prep in the UK. Let's go say hello to a UK friendo a bit early in the morning, but I'm sure he will enjoy the company. Alrighty, taking you out now. Bye, folks. Dinner's ready. Jennifer? Hey, did you?
I wasn't present most of it. Well, I was there, but I wasn't present most of it. Your mic's still on.
What?
Your mic is still on.
Yeah, but my stream's not.
What'd you make?
Beef Stroganoff?
Does it have mushroom in it?
It does. Don't worry, they're really good. I went and foraged them myself. It's a really special mushroom here that you might not be able to have for some time.
Let me me just change my banking passwords real quick.
Don't know how that's going to help.
What?
Don't know how that's going to help. Next to kin, bitch.
Not without it.
No, you do that. I'm your de facto.
Yes, but the interesting part about the word de facto
Is that it's just as good as being married under common law.
means literally outside of the law, so you have to go through a whole bunch of probate shit.
Yeah, that's fine. No one has a chance of contesting it. Especially not your parents. Because Vicky would murder them.
What's this?
Stock.
It's not part of the mill?
Nope.
Fair enough. You already had cutlery. What, did a knife?
No,
The big chunks of beef.
I suppose.
It looks cool.
It does. It suits the container.
You're very clever.
Thank you. It's the mushrooms.
Sorry. Let me rephrase that. Chicken to tell you about mushrooms.
Chicken. What? Oh, I see. Chicken does seem to know an awful lot about mushrooms. That didn't sound positive.
Nice.
The bavette is really lovely.
Sorry?
The bavette is really lovely.
Okay.
The steak.
Oh.
Sorry?
It is really.
I'm glad I convinced myself to go to Harry's Farm Market.
Even with that butcher. I think that butcher's very mediocre.